Hey guys, so really quick, I wanted to pop into IGTV. I know I put a post on my 5 ways to be a better teammate, but I really wanted to pop into IGTV to kind of elaborate on it a little bit. I think especially for the teaching profession, especially if this is your first time working so closely with a co-teacher or an assistant teacher, you've probably never had to rely on someone so much. You've probably never had to work in a situation where you really did, in order to be effective at what you're doing, had to work so well as a well-oiled machine with another person. So the biggest thing, and whenever I have teachers come into my office to kind of talk to me about things that are going on with the teachers that they're working with, the biggest thing is they're not communicating. I think that it's so crucial to understand that just because you look upset or you look stressed out or you feel like they should know what to do by now, they might not. You have to communicate. You have to say what's going on. If you are ever in a situation where you feel like you are pulling all the weight, sit down with your co-teacher, sit down with the person that you're working with and create a checklist. Like, here are all the things that we have to do on a day-to-day. When I'm doing this, you do this. And it's so black and white that there's no way to misunderstand, or there is no way that anyone is going to be confused about who needs to do what when. This is also incredibly, even if you do work really well with your co-teacher and you just know, what if your co-teacher is absent that day? What if you're absent that day and you're like, oh no, I have this sub and I have to do everything. She doesn't do the things that I need her to do. Well, if you had this checklist, you would just say, you do all the things that she would do and I will continue to do my things. Or, you might want to sit down and have a conversation like, this might be hard for you to do today. We'll swap these tasks and do that, so that it is very black and white and it is even. So nobody feels like they're getting like the slack work. But the best thing and the most important thing that I've learned from teaching and working so closely with other people is how to communicate effectively. Communicate your feelings and tell them how you're feeling and what's going on. When you need help, it's so important to ask for help and be willing to, when you see someone struggling, to ask them like, hey, what do you need? Don't think that you know what they need. Ask them. Ask them what they need. Just as you would want someone to ask you what you need. You have to be willing to do that. Another thing is to mentor each other. You don't know everything. You do not know everything in your career or in whatever path that you've chosen. You don't know everything. You have to be willing to take constructive criticism. You have to be willing to listen to that other person who has been doing this as well and has different ideas and things that have worked for them. I think that it's important to have a positive spin on it and say, this is what worked for me, instead of saying, oh, that doesn't work. Do this, 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 and not be bossy about it, but to actually say, this is what's worked for me. But if you want to mentor someone, this is going to be a really quick rant. If you want to mentor someone, or give them any kind of constructive criticism about what they're doing, and what they are doing is not something that you have accomplished, what you're trying to accomplish, or what you've gotten traction in, and something that you have no idea about, don't do it. Don't do it. Because it's going to be really hard to have a good constructive criticism or a good conversation or a good mentorship conversation when you have no idea what you're talking about and you have not been in that situation before. And then I promise, when you're working with your co-teacher and you are going through all of these things, or working with working with a team or working with other people, doing these things will help you in the long run. It will help you have stronger relationships. It'll help you in your marriage. It'll help you in life, even if you choose a different career later on. Learning these skills are so incredibly important. And I think that's where a lot of the miscommunication comes from, is when you expect someone to know how you're feeling or know what you're thinking or know what they should be doing without actually saying it. You have to communicate. Communicate in all things. And if we do that as teachers, if we're communicating together and having a good relationship where we're able to talk to each other, we're showing the children around us how to communicate effectively, how we're explaining our feelings to our co-teachers. And we are modeling that behavior so when they get into a situation, they will do that too. When they are older, they will see that and they will incorporate that in their lives too. So it will in turn go into our mission here at the Teaching Tree of really helping to change the world by loving and caring and educating our youth so that when they're adults, they're loving, successful, caring adults. And that would be so huge, could you imagine? But teaching by modeling, kids are great imitators. Just give them something great to imitate. I love that quote. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you all next time. Bye.